Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Southern Miss versus Ole Miss college basketball matchup on Saturday, December 23rd, 2023. Of course, at Pick Dawgz, we do tons of free picks, but if you're looking for our best bets, those are the ones you find under the Premium Picks tab. Use that discount code PICK for 15% off. We also have Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays meant for people who make big bets. If that's you, go ahead and text that number that you see on the screen. These are not available on the website. You got to text that number. But let's get to this one. We've got Southern Miss taking on Ole Miss. Southern Miss 6-5 on the season. Ole Miss a perfect 11-0, but just 5-6 against the number so far this season. These neutral site game, of course, so a lot of these home and away records, they don't mean as much as being true home or true road games, that's for sure, especially the home side of things. But meanwhile, Southern Miss just 2-6-1 against the number so far this season. So something's got to give as far as these two teams that can win some games, have played some quality basketball, but at the same time sometimes struggle against the spread. When we look at Ole Miss coming off a nice win against Troy, and then that followed a win against Cal and UCF, those were 3 covers in a row, and in fact, for Ole Miss, they've covered in 5 of their last 6 games, covering against NC State and Memphis. The game they didn't cover, the one where they were the 15.5-point favorite against Mount St. Mary's. Going back a little further, as a 4-point favorite, didn't cover against Temple, didn't cover as a 24-point favorite against winless Detroit. So, for Ole Miss, sometimes it's maybe about reeling it in against some of the lesser opponents and, leaving it wide open in some of the more difficult games. When we look at Southern Miss, they come in winning 4 of their last 5 games, beating Lamar, Northwestern State, UAB, and Milwaukee. The loss coming against McNeese State, they were a 7-point dog in that and got run out of the building by the Cowboys. And that is just part of life, I guess. Meanwhile, they also have a bad loss against the South Dakota State Jackrabbits, where they lost by 11 as a 2.5-point dog. Got some unlined games in there as well for Southern Miss, so you got to always extrapolate those from the statistics because, of course, those unlined games very, very meaningless in the grand scheme of things. And, the problem with those unlined games, boy, if you play well in them, they don't help you. But if you play poorly in them, they sure hurt you. I never really understood them. I guess it's just an opportunity that they give to some of the lesser schools. But it should be called an exhibition because that's really what it is. It shouldn't count against the record. Ole Miss has gotten there the old-fashioned way, shooting the 3, shooting at 39.2% in a 15th best in the entire nation. And when we look at the defense, though, for Southern Miss, been pretty solid. Teams shoot just 41.7% from the floor against them. I think what it really comes down to in this game for me is this Ole Miss defense, and I think that's why Ole Miss doesn't cover a ton of spreads. It's because basically they feed off of the defense. They play defense, they shoot threes. I love that strategy. It's like running the football and playing defense in football, right? It's the same strategy, but it's D'ing it up and shooting threes. And I think, for Ole Miss, I just think they're actually just way better at defense. I think they shut down Southern Miss just enough to actually cover the spread in this thing. I'm going to take Ole Miss, not jump into the window to bet it, but that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. 100% free, and it'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.